If you're over 60 and walking has become painful, if your knees ache, if your hips feel stiff, if you're worried that you're losing your leg strength and independence, I need you to listen very carefully to what I'm about to tell you. There is one exercise that can keep your legs strong, improve your balance, and help you maintain your independence, even if traditional walking hurts too much to do regularly. And the best part? You can do this exercise sitting down. I'm a physician who has specialized in geriatric medicine for over 25 years, and I've seen thousands of patients over 60 who thought they were destined to become weaker and more dependent as they aged. They believed that if walking hurt, there was nothing they could do. They were wrong. And if you're thinking the same thing, you're wrong too. The exercise I'm going to teach you today is called the sit-to-stand exercise. And it's the single most important movement you can do to maintain leg strength, prevent falls, and preserve your independence after age 60. It sounds simple, maybe too simple, but the research behind this exercise is extraordinary, and the results speak for themselves. Let me start by explaining why leg strength matters so much as you age. Your legs contain the largest muscle groups in your body, your quadriceps in the front of your thighs, your hamstrings in the back, your glutes in your buttocks, and your calves in your lower legs. These muscles do more than just help you walk. They control your balance. They catch you when you stumble. They help you get up if you fall. They let you climb upstairs, get out of bed, use the toilet independently, and live without needing constant help. But after age 60, you naturally start losing muscle mass. This process is called sarcopenia, and it happens to everyone. On average, you lose about 3 to 5% of your muscle mass per decade after age 30, but after 60, that loss accelerates. Some studies show you can lose up to 1 to 2% of your leg strength every single year if you're not actively working to maintain it. Now, here's the problem. Walking is usually the exercise doctors recommend for seniors. And walking is wonderful. It's low impact, it's natural, it's accessible. But what if walking hurts? What if you have arthritis in your knees? What if your hips are bone on bone and every step sends pain shooting through your joints? What if you have neuropathy in your feet from diabetes and walking feels like you're stepping on broken glass? What if you have balance problems and you're terrified of falling while walking? For years, people in these situations were told to just push through the pain, or they were told there was nothing they could do. They slowly became weaker, more sedentary, more dependent. But research over the past 15 years has shown us something remarkable. You don't need to walk long distances to maintain leg strength. You need to perform functional movements that mimic the activities of daily living. And the most important functional movement for maintaining independence is the ability to stand up from a seated position. Think about it. Every single day, you stand up from chairs, from the toilet, from your bed, from the couch. If you can't do that movement safely and with control, you lose your independence. You need help getting dressed. You need help using the bathroom. You need assistance getting in and out of cars. Your world shrinks dramatically. The sit-to-stand exercise targets exactly this movement. And multiple studies have proven that doing sit-to-stand exercises regularly can maintain and even increase leg strength in people over 60, even in people who have painful arthritis, even in people who can barely walk. Let me tell you about a study published in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society. Researchers took a group of adults over age 70 who all had knee osteoarthritis, painful, degenerative arthritis that made walking difficult. They divided them into two groups. One group was told to try to walk more despite the pain. The other group was taught to do sit-to-stand exercises 3 times per week. After 12 weeks, the walking group showed minimal improvement in leg strength, and many had dropped out because the pain was too severe. But the sit-to-stand group showed a 25% increase in quadriceps strength, a 30% improvement in balance tests, and a significant reduction in their fear of falling. And here's the amazing part. Their knee pain actually decreased because stronger muscles stabilized their joints better. So let me teach you how to do this exercise correctly, because technique matters. If you do it wrong, you won't get the benefits and you might cause injury. If you do it right, you'll start seeing improvements within just a few weeks. Start by sitting in a sturdy chair, not a soft couch or a recliner, but a firm chair with a solid seat. Kitchen chairs or dining room chairs work perfectly. Sit toward the front half of the seat, not all the way back. Your feet should be flat on the floor, hip width apart. Your knees should be bent at about a 90-degree angle. If you're tall and the chair is too low, or if you're short and the chair is too high, Adjust by putting a cushion on the seat or choosing a different chair. The height matters. Now, here's the key. Place your hands on your thighs or cross them over your chest. Do not use your hands to push off the armrests. That's cheating, and it defeats the purpose. This exercise is about leg strength, not arm strength. Your legs need to do the work. Lean forward slightly from your hips, not your waist. You want to bring your nose over your toes. This shifts your center of gravity forward and makes it easier for your leg muscles to lift you. Then, push through your heels and stand up in one smooth, controlled motion. Your weight should be in your heels, not your toes. This engages your quadriceps and glutes properly. Stand up fully. Don't stop halfway. Straighten your legs completely, squeeze your glutes at the top, and stand tall. Then, slowly, with control, lower yourself back down to the seated position. Don't just drop into the chair. The lowering phase, what we call the eccentric phase, is actually when your muscles are working the hardest and getting the most benefit. That's 1 repetition. It should take about 2 seconds to stand up and 2 to 3 seconds to sit back down. Controlled, deliberate, focused. Now, how many should you do? That depends on your current fitness level. If you're very weak or you haven't exercised in years, start with just 5 repetitions. Do 5 sit-to-stands, rest for a minute, then do another set of 5. Do this 2 or 3 times per day. It will take you less than 5 minutes total. If you can do 10 repetitions without struggling, that's your starting point. Do 2 or 3 sets of 10 twice a day. If you can easily do 15 or 20 repetitions, you're already in pretty good shape, but you can still benefit. Do 3 sets of 15, and focus on slowing down the movement to make it more challenging. The goal over time is to build up to being able to do 3 sets of 15 repetitions without stopping, without using your hands, with good form. Once you reach that level, you can make the exercise harder by holding a weight against your chest, or by using a lower chair, or by pausing for 3 seconds at the top of the movement. But here's what's important. You need to do this consistently. Muscle strength doesn't come from doing 50 sit-to-stands one day and then nothing for a week. It comes from repeated, consistent effort. 3 times per week is the minimum. 5 times per week is better. Every single day is ideal if your body can handle it. And yes, you might feel sore after the first few sessions. That's normal. That's your muscles adapting. If you haven't used these muscles in a while, they're going to protest a bit. That soreness, called delayed onset muscle soreness, usually peaks about 48 hours after exercise and then goes away. It's not the same as pain from injury. Soreness is a dull, achy feeling in the muscle belly. Injury pain is sharp, localized, and gets worse with movement. If you feel sharp pain in your joints, knees, hips, or back during the exercise, stop. That's a sign you need to adjust your form or see a doctor to make sure there's no underlying issue that needs treatment. Now, let me address some common mistakes I see people make with this exercise. First, using their hands to push off. I can't stress enough how important it is to let your legs do all the work. If you absolutely cannot stand up without using your hands, that's okay. Start by using one hand lightly for balance, and work toward using no hands at all. That progression is a sign of your strength improving. Second mistake, standing up too fast and losing balance. This isn't a race. Speed doesn't make the exercise more effective. Control does. Stand up smoothly, not explosively. If you feel dizzy or unsteady when you stand, you might be standing up too quickly, or you might have orthostatic hypotension, which is a drop in blood pressure when you stand. Talk to your doctor about that. Third mistake, not sitting all the way back down. Some people do a half squat and think that's enough. No, you need to actually sit on the chair each time. That full range of motion is what builds strength throughout the entire movement pattern. Fourth mistake, leaning back instead of leaning forward. Remember, nose over toes. If you lean back, you make it almost impossible to stand up without using your hands. Lean forward first, then push up. Now let me tell you why this exercise is so powerful beyond just building strength. First, it improves your balance. Every time you transition from sitting to standing, your body has to stabilize itself. Your core muscles activate, your ankle muscles make tiny adjustments, your brain practices coordinating this complex movement. Over time, your balance gets better, and better balance means fewer falls. Second, it builds confidence. Fear of falling is a huge problem for seniors. That fear causes people to move less, which makes them weaker, which actually increases their fall risk. It's a vicious cycle. But when you practice standing up over and over, When you feel yourself getting stronger and more stable, that fear starts to decrease. You start trusting your body again. Third, it's functional. You're not doing some abstract exercise that has no connection to real life. You're practicing exactly the movement you need to do every single day. And that means the strength you build transfers immediately to your daily activities. Patients tell me all the time that after a few weeks of doing sit-to-stands, they notice they can get out of their car more easily. They can stand up from low chairs that used to be a struggle. They can play with their grandchildren on the floor and actually get back up. Fourth, it protects your independence. Studies have shown that the ability to perform 5 consecutive sit-to-stands in under 15 seconds is a strong predictor of maintained independence in people over 65. If you can do that, you're at low risk of needing assistance with daily activities. If you can't, you're at much higher risk of needing help or ending up in a nursing home. Now, I want to talk about modifications for people with specific conditions, because I know many of you watching this have health issues that make exercise challenging. If you have severe knee arthritis, start with a higher chair. The higher the chair, the easier the movement. You can put cushions on your chair to raise the height. As you get stronger, gradually remove cushions and work toward a lower chair. Also, make sure you're pushing through your heels, not your toes. This takes pressure off your kneecaps. If you have hip problems, you might need to adjust your foot position. Try turning your toes out slightly, about 15 to 30 degrees. This opens up the hip joint and can reduce pain during the movement. If you have balance problems or you're afraid of falling, do this exercise in a corner where you have walls on 2 sides, or next to a sturdy counter where you can reach out and touch it if needed. You can also have someone stand next to you for support while you build confidence. Just remember, the goal is to eventually do this without assistance. If you have neuropathy in your feet and you can't feel the floor well, make sure you're wearing supportive shoes with good grip, even indoors. And go slowly. Focus on the feeling of your muscles working rather than the sensation in your feet. If you get short of breath easily from heart or lung conditions, don't hold your breath during the exercise. Breathe normally. Exhale as you stand up, inhale as you sit down. And start with fewer repetitions. Even 3 or 4 reps is better than nothing. Let me also tell you what you should expect in terms of results, because I want to set realistic expectations. In the first week or 2, you probably won't notice dramatic changes. You might feel sore. You might feel like this is harder than it should be. That's normal. Keep going. By week 3 or 4, you should start noticing that the exercise feels easier. You might be able to do more repetitions, or the same number of repetitions feels less challenging. This is your strength improving. By week 6 to 8, you should notice functional improvements in your daily life. Getting out of chairs feels easier. You feel more stable. Maybe you're moving around more because you have more confidence. By 12 weeks, if you've been consistent, you should see measurable improvements. Your leg strength should be noticeably better. Your balance should be improved. And you should feel more capable and independent. But here's the thing. You can't stop after 12 weeks. Muscle strength is use it or lose it. If you stop doing the exercise, your strength will decline again. This needs to become part of your routine, like brushing your teeth or taking your medications. It's not a temporary fix. It's a lifestyle change. Now, I want to address a question I get asked all the time. What about other exercises? Should you do anything else? The sit-to-stand exercise is the most important single exercise for maintaining leg strength and independence. But it's not the only exercise you should do. If you're able, I also recommend heel raises for calf strength, which helps with balance. I recommend marching in place to maintain hip flexibility. And I recommend gentle stretching for your hamstrings and hip flexors. But if you can only do one exercise, if you only have 5 minutes a day, if you're in pain and limited in what you can do, the sit-to-stand exercise is the one to choose. It gives you the most bang for your buck. Let me share one final story with you. I had a patient named Dorothy who was 74 years old. She had severe osteoarthritis in both knees. She could barely walk to her mailbox without pain. Her doctor had told her she needed knee replacement surgery, but she was terrified of the surgery and kept putting it off. She came to see me because she was losing strength rapidly and was starting to need help getting dressed. I taught her the sit-to-stand exercise and told her to do it 3 times a day, every single day. She was skeptical. She didn't think something so simple could possibly help. But she was desperate. So she tried it. The first week, she could only do 5 repetitions at a time, and it hurt. She almost quit. But I encouraged her to keep going, and she did. By week 4, she was doing 10 repetitions without stopping. By week 8, she was doing 15. Her knees still hurt when she walked long distances, but she noticed she could stand up from her toilet without grabbing the safety rail. She could get out of her car without struggling. At her 12-week follow-up, Dorothy told me she felt like a different person. She was still in pain, but she was stronger. She could do things for herself again. And here's the amazing part. Her orthopedic surgeon did a strength test on her legs, and was so impressed with her improvement, that he told her she could delay the surgery. The stronger muscles were stabilizing her knees enough that she could function better despite the arthritis. 2 years later, Dorothy still hasn't had the surgery. She still does her sit-to-stand exercises every single day. She's not pain-free, but she's independent. And to her, that's everything. That's the power of this one simple exercise. It's not a miracle cure. It won't reverse arthritis or heal damaged joints, but it will make you stronger. It will improve your balance. It will give you back control over your body and your life. So here's what I want you to do right now, today. Find a sturdy chair. Try 5 sit-to-stands using the technique I taught you. Just 5. See how it feels. If you can do 5, try 10. If 10 is easy, try 15. Figure out your baseline. Then commit to doing this exercise 3 times this week. Put it on your calendar. Set a reminder on your phone. Tell someone you're doing it so they can hold you accountable. And then keep going. Make it a habit. Do it while you watch the morning news. Do it during commercial breaks. Do it before meals. Find a time that works for you and stick with it. Your future self will thank you. Because leg strength is the difference between independence and dependence. It's the difference between living in your own home and needing constant care. It's the difference between confidence and fear. You don't need a gym membership. You don't need expensive equipment. You don't need to be able to walk pain-free. You just need a chair and 5 minutes a day. That's it. If you found this video helpful, please share it with other people over 60 who are struggling with leg strength or painful walking. This information could change someone's life. Subscribe to the Gray Hub for more practical, evidence-based health advice for your best years. And leave a comment below telling me how many sit-to-stands you were able to do today. I read every comment. Thank you for watching. Take care of yourself. Stay strong. And remember, it's never too late to start building the strength you need to maintain your independence.